I want to piggyback off a little bit about Representative Dean's banana example and how it affects the cost of living for our constituents all across America. You know, I have heard from many Asian American business owners. They own restaurants, they own supermarkets, they own well-known supermarkets like 99 Ranch and H Mart. They are really concerned about the rising costs of goods, like anything from basmati rice to the burdock root to different sauces that are utilized by the Asian American community, fastest growing community in this country. I know that you mentioned, you know, due to the tariffs, the price will eventually come back down. But I just wanted to, you know, make an observation that the cost of living for Americans, as we know, is already high. And it's hard for them to be able to afford these goods and these products that they are using today. And the restaurant owners, the supermarket owners, small business owners are really in a bind because they don't know if they have to raise their prices and pass on the higher cost to consumers or to eat the cost themselves. And coming out of a pandemic where they barely survived, they are now worried that because of these high costs that their businesses, you know, may not survive. So I just wanted to highlight this issue that's happening in my district. And I'm sure in many other districts across the country, about a lot of these products that are largely not produced here in the United States.
The inflation under the Biden administration was very, very difficult and created a very difficult time for Americans across the country.
Well, the prices have gone up recently, starting this year.
Fortunately, inflation, as the last numbers were very low, in the low twos, and back to toward the level that the Fed says is their long-term goal. So that's very promising. But I will tell you, in our trade deals, our expectation is for unavailable natural resources, a banana, right, other spices and the roots, the things you've suggested, your expectation should be there will not be a tariff. But when we give that to a country, right, like coffee, right, when we say to Ghana, okay, we will not charge you a tariff on coffee or cocoa, but you will open your market to allow our farmers to sell soybeans. Because you're blocking us on soybeans, why do you expect to sell us coffee and cocoa and not let us sell soybeans? It seems unfair. Let's make that fair. And that's an example of a trade deal. Granted, these are small countries, but that's the kind of model that when we're done, we will not have tariffs on unavailable natural resources, but we will have market access for our farmers and our ranchers. You know, our chicken and pork and beef are treated horribly around the world, horribly. That has to end. And if we use that by saying you can export coffee to us, but you need to treat us better for our agricultural products back to you, I think that is fair trade.
No, I appreciate that. Do you have a sense of a timeline? I appreciate that the cost will eventually come back down, but when my constituents, you know, just average individual consumers or small business owners are asking me when the prices will come back down, prices that have gone up only in recent months after this new Trump administration, what can we tell our constituents?
The president has set out July 9th as the date by which he expects most transaction deals to have occurred. If they don't occur because of back and forth, the president can just set the agenda and say, here's your offer, and set that trading deal in place. And your expectation should be by July 9th.
I appreciate that.